Ladies and gentlemen and Jake Nash, we're back here with another unboxing. Y'all like the last time I made my fight stick last time. I was like, let me buy one this time around. And believe it or not, this is by far one of the most cheapest hitbox style fighting controllers you can probably get right now. This is called, as you can see, the PXN X8 Fighting Box. I bought this off of Aliexpress for about 50 bucks. Yeah, 50 bucks. And get this doesn't just work for one system. According to this works on for PC, Android, PS3, PS4, Xbox One, Xbox Series, and Switch. So basically all the major consoles. And I was like, man, I gotta share this with everyone. This little thing. And this is for 50 bucks. So this is crazy. Because most fight sticks are about between $200 to $300 for a fight stick on average. And most of those only work on one system. So that's a crazy thing. I was on AliExpress one day. I was like, I'll order this. We'll see how it is. It's either going to make or break. So this is one of those Chinese off-brand things. But it's kind of cool. You don't see too many with the WSAD actual keyboard format on the controller. The only one I know that has it is the Mixbox, which costs like $300. So why get Mixbox when you can get this? But let's dive right into it. Let's open this bad boy up. I've been dying to open this bad boy. Ooh, it looks clean. They give you the manual. Oh, let me turn it sideways. Sorry about that. They give you the manual, looks like. USB. This is a... Oh, Type C. Okay. The manual, this. And let's unveil this nasty little bugger. Okay, let's open this. Ooh, look. Whoa, this is actually a lot bigger than I expected. Okay. And let's see. Ooh. Oh, here's another little tip about this. This actually uses MX switch buttons on this controller. So these are actual mechanical buttons though. Yo, these buttons feel actually pretty good. That's actually kind of sick. Square, triangle, R1. And they even have the bumpers. If you look closely, there's even the bumpers on there. I'll zoom in a little bit. But you see the bumpers are actually on the LB, LT, triangle, Y. So for the Xbox and stuff right there. And it has the button for home and all that stuff too. Options and everything. This is kind of sick. And here's something this has that no other controller has also. This also has a DP and LS button. See this little switch right here? So here's something that's interesting. Depending on, because I know there's some games where you can only play analog or D-pad. This thing has a D-pad button and LS is the left stick. So that's kind of cool to note. Right now it feels good. It actually feels, for this price, it's actually pretty sturdy. It feels like equivalent of a $200 fight stick. It's kind of cool to see that in all in action. And let's see what else is on this little bad boy. There's no other extra stuff here. Oh, there's something on the top, though. Look at that. It says USB controller. Interesting. I wonder what that means. Let's see if the manual has anything in regards to that for any other purposes. Or what did the box... Actually, let's read what the box says first. What does it say about this little side gimmick here? Oh, it says right here. Okay. So, on the top of this box, let's see. It says... Okay, there's a headphone jack? Oh! There's a headphone jack right here. Let me show that for you real quick. There's a headphone jack right here. That's pretty cool. So if you want to hear the game and stuff, or if you're trying to talk in your headset through PS4 or Xbox, there you go. That's kind of cool. And USB works with the PS4 Xbox One control after the arcade hook PS4 Xbox Series, the original control up to... So you're saying I can hook a separate controller to this thing? What? Does that mean it's going to work or going to try? That's something we're going to have to try, guys. That's definitely something we have to try. That's kind of cool. And there are these... Now, the other question is if these buttons are interchangeable. The directions are Windows 7, 8, 10, PC, Android, PS3, PS4, Xbox One, Xbox Series, and Switch. Is there any buttons we have to hold for this to make it work? For using with Android, you have to get an adapter for it. That makes sense because it's not Bluetooth. This is not Bluetooth, by the way, guys. So don't expect this to be wireless. And then switches plug in. So this is pretty self-explanatory and simple. As far as switching buttons, I don't know. But let's see how long this cable is. That's the part I'm actually curious about. This looks like a decent length for a cable. This might be, if not longer, than the cable for my Smashbox, if anything. That's the crazy part. I think it might be a little longer. Let's see. Let's see. There we go. Sorry, I had to. Oh, it comes with a nice Velcro. Yo, this is actually longer than the cable I think for my Smash box. I can't even get the entire cable on the screen. That's pretty long. That is really long. That's actually pretty good. And if you can feel the texture of how thick this is, that's really good. This is like an average USB cable over here versus this. Look at the difference in thickness. This is a very sturdy thing. I like it. So, I mean, so far, the buttons feel good. It's definitely if you're not used to this type of button layout, it's kind of weird at first, but for the WWE, I can hit the buttons quick. Like, it's pretty good. Anyway, let's hook this bad boy up and see what some games or something, right? We want to see it at least on all the consoles at least once. I don't have an Xbox, so you're not going to see it on Xbox, but I'll at least do Switch and PlayStation. So let's go with that. So right now we have it hooked up to the Switch and everything. It seems like it's moving perfectly fine. And unlike the Brook style stuff, I didn't have to hold a button. I literally just stuck it in and it just worked. So let's move to this is something I want to try that's weird. So this apparently says it can work with analog and D-pad. One of the biggest issues when it comes to Smash, it doesn't work with the Brook style because Brook is only mapped to D-pad. So I'm gonna try see if I switch to the left stick, will I actually be able to move my character? Now, mind you, this is not like my Smash box where I have like tilt sticks and all that sort of jazz. So keep that in mind. Just make sure you put that behind your head. So I'm not saying use this for Smash, but this is an interesting thought though. I just want to see it work. This just lets me know if the D-pad analog button thing works for the Switch. So we're going to games. So if I can get like, and here's the fun part, me trying to guess the buttons properly. Okay, games and more. Oh, it's this button. That's weird. Okay, training. So this must be A, this must be B. This. And let's try Ken. Since I know how to play Ken at least somewhat decently. And then the start button. You know what? Where is the start button on here? Wait, options, right? Yes. Options is the same equivalent as the start on PS4 controller. I had to think like that. Okay. It's moving! Holy crap! It's actually moving. So that's jump. That's a time. It worked. Oh my goodness. It literally worked. I wouldn't recommend playing Smash this way, but it works though. It freaking works. This is actually kind of scary, guys. My other controller wouldn't work like that. Oh, man. That literally works. That is disgusting to even think about that. Well, here you have it, folks. This controller that costs literally like 50 something bucks, $50 to $60, works with Smash. Do I recommend this? No, because you can't technically walk or anything like that, but like just that alone is kind of sick. Let's jump on to the next console. Now that we know that this works with it says all grabs too. Like that's nuts. It's getting me kind of used to moving between the controllers, but you could always move this around. So Switch works fine. That's nuts to think about. That's really nuts. And if I switch to D-pad, let's do this before we get off. If I switch to D-pad, does the time. See? Look at that. Switch back. Click. Movement. That's pretty crazy when you think about it. But on to the next console though. Okay, here's something weird about the PS4 one. At first I couldn't figure out how to get this to work, but now I figured it out. So you remember that USB we saw at the top here? You have to physically plug a PS4 controller to the top of this, right? If I get this correctly, you have to plug it right here. This thing will go in. So, okay, so here's my PS4 controller right here, right? And you have to turn this on. But you have to press it on here. So you use this to turn it on. And you push it on here. And it's good. Now, here's the fun question. Do you have to keep this in or not? That's the real question. So if I unplug this. Huh. So your PS4 controller, I think, has to be in at all times. Is that what you're telling me? That's interesting. Then what's the point? So you have to plug this into here. So that's their gimmick. That's how they're able to do this. That's good to know. So I have to plug a PS4 controller here. I'm going to put that on the side here. Power this on. Now it's to plug the system. And then hit this button. And now, once I hit this button, it switches the controls from this to this. That's actually very, very interesting. And I was not expecting that. And let's go with Marvel versus Capcom 3. So that's something to note, guys. So the only way this will work, you have to plug your PS4 controller into here and then run this out into your, it's almost like a daisy chain thing, and run this out to your PS4. And then you have your PS4 controller has to be essentially on and then push this on to make it work. At least according to the manual. Okay, so there's now it's everything's working fine now. Yep, power off original PS4 controller, then connect PS4 controller to arcade stick via USB player, plug in cable arcade stick, turn on the power to the PS4, press the power button on the arcade stick, and it'll be considered player 1. Xbox Series X is the same way. Okay. And then for Switch, you don't have to hook nothing up at all. Good to know. So when you use this, make sure you always keep a PS4 controller in hand. And if you hook this up to PC, you don't have to do any of that at all. Fun facts. I'm not online right now, so I don't care. Okay, it's working right so far. Training. Let's try Dante. Doesn't matter. It doesn't really matter who I pick on my team, honestly. We just want to make sure this actually works properly, more or less. And let me move this cable out the way. Sorry about that, guys. Cable's still bent because it's fresh. Okay. Wave dashing works. That works. Let me switch out. That works. Simple combos work with this thing. This actually works fine. Let me switch to analog. It shouldn't matter for this since we're playing. Yeah. All this works fine. This is actually kind of crazy. So the only drawback about this, you have to hook your own controller into it. But most people at this point has a PS4 controller, Xbox controller. So this is like a small amount. But think about, for the price you pay, I'll let it slide. You just gotta make sure you have a PS4 controller or a separate controller. You can get a cheap one and hook it up. Like that's pretty simple. Let's see if we can get a combo going. Oh, actually, no. I gotta think it's. There you go. Mash it out. I waited too late. But that works, essentially. Essentially, that works. I'm not used to playing this, so don't expect me to do no crazy combos on this thing. But to think about that, though, it's kind of cool, though. Yeah, it works fine. So that's kind of cool. That works. Yeah, everything works fine. That's crazy. Yeah, this is kind of cool. I guess the last system we have to try is on PC. So we'll jump on PC real quick and see how it works, okay? Okay, the last thing I want to try it on is on PC. And of course you knew I had to do Rivals of Ether since this is the main point of the channel. But let's try this. So the start button works. Up and down works. Okay, that's kind of cool. And I still have it set to D-pad mode, just so you know. So let's hit local. We'll hit practice. And what character should I pick? I think I know who I'm picking. Actually, I think y'all all know who I'm going to pick at this point. Levy! I can find him. I went past him too. That's a sad thing. I'm trying to remember to go back on this thing. Oh dear Levy. How you help me so? Levi. The name could be debatable. Give him the true Jank Nation colors. We gotta do, man. We gotta do it. The Jank is up in here. Doesn't matter who we play. Versus. Oh, mind you, I do not have nothing else plugged in except for this. As you can see, nothing's plugged into the USB slot. We'll do this stage. Let's see. Oh, sorry, the volume wasn't on the other stuff because it was acting up earlier. So I only got it for this though, but it's all good. It works. Shore hops do. And that's block, right? So in theory, that works. That's crazy. Now been that move. So this works fine so far. Works fine. Me recovering has to do with me the way I'm playing, but the shore hops though, like these buttons feel really good, really good. Yeah, pretty good. Final thoughts on the PXN X8 controller. Really good controller. The quality felt way better than I expected for a controller. And for me thinking like, oh, $50 gonna be stupid. The only downside about the controller is probably like everyone assumes it's the USB for the gamepad. That one's a little bit sus. But it works though. It works. I mean, if you compare it to like me buying my Smash box or the one I made, which technically costs more than this controller, which I wish I found it soon, but it's still like as a whole, it's still cheaper than most. And of course, you're coming from Aliexpress, so it's kind of like a hit or miss scenario with this sort of thing. It's like you're buying stuff from overseas, and this might take you a month to get, if anything, like mine did. So, I mean, I'll put the link in the comment section. Not in the comment section, in the description. So you can buy it for yourself. It might, like I said, it'll fluctuate between $50-$60. But that's really cheap for a controller. Nice quality. Nice buttons. The MX switches. And the mechanical keyboard functions. Nuts. So, even if you don't use it for a fight game, you can use it for like an old school like game you used to play back in the day. So, and it works on all your systems. Like, you're not going to get that out of most of your controllers that's under $300. Just saying. But let me know in the comment section what you think. Like and subscribe to the channel, and I hope you enjoy this. I see you soon. Peace! Oh, by the way, stay janky, everyone.